So how much have you made on Amazon in the last year?
Well, just one single brand, my best brand, we pulled in $2.6 million in revenue.
Eman makes over $1 million a year selling on Amazon, but he started with a simple idea, shoe cleaner. In just his first year selling on Amazon, he made over $170,000. Then his second year, he made almost $300,000. And he kept growing and now makes millions of dollars per year with Amazon FBA. He's also purchased multiple failing businesses and flipped them into multi-million-dollar successes. And you can find success too. What's the most you've ever made in a single day?
Actually, it happened this past Monday. I'll show you guys. I'm the open book. I made $56,000.
And in this video, Eman's gonna reveal 3 things. First, how he makes over $1 million a year with Amazon FBA. Second, how to find businesses that are failing and turn them into cash printing machines. And third, he'll share step-by-step how you can create your own 7-figure Amazon FBA business. But pay attention, because he's also gonna tell us about some mistakes he's made that have cost him hundreds of thousands of dollars. So at this point, how many brands do you have on Amazon?
So I currently run 3 brands. First one being Maverick, which is our money cow. Number 2 is Factory Lace, which is a brand that I started myself back in 2018. And the third one is Relax Support.
What do they each sell and how much are they making right now?
Yeah, so Maverick actually sells sports and outdoor products like running chest packs, weighted vests. That one actually nets us around $40,000 plus every single month. Factory Laced is so now. It used to be one of my biggest money makers, but now that Maverick switched over to being that. Still makes a healthy $8,000 per month. And then Relax Support, we'll talk about that a different day because that one's not generating as much profit as we hoped.
So I want you to sit down, tell us your whole story on how you got started, how much it cost you with your first business, and let's find out for the people at home, how they can do it too. So if you don't mind, you sit down here, I'll sit down over here.
Sounds good to me. So it started back in 2018 where I was tired of the hustle and bustle of being a real estate agent. Door knocking, cold calling, not knowing where my next deal was going to come. So when I first closed a couple of these deals, I set aside some money to start Amazon FBA because as you know, on the internet, you can find different things of how to make money, but I felt most comfortable going ahead and taking the leap of faith with Amazon FBA. So as you guys all know, product research is probably one of the most tedious phases of Amazon FBA. And I stumbled across my first product, which is a shoe cleaning kit. Because growing up in high school, I collected sneakers. I always liked the limited edition sneakers, Jordans, Nikes, Yeezys, Adidas, all of the above. So actually going ahead and coming out with a shoe cleaning kit was perfect for me because I was my ideal customer. I knew exactly what type of products was needed to clean these shoes. And being the ideal customer is gonna circle back as far as how you can actually be successful with Amazon FBA with launching products that you actually are the customer to them. So when I launched the shoe cleaning kit, there was numerous different types of shoe cleaning kits, but they weren't marketing towards the individual that was me, a person that wanted to keep their limited edition sneakers in pristine condition. So knowing this, I knew that my marketing and my branding was going to be key in order to be successful with Amazon FBA. So I got started with my business with just one product, which was the original shoe cleaning kit that was dead stock Los Angeles at the time. With that singular product, I started with $8,785. And at that time, I felt like that was a lot of money when I first got started because I really didn't know if it was gonna be successful. I had an idea that it was, but at the end of the day, withdrawing close to $10,000 away from my actual bank account and starting a venture that I didn't know was gonna be successful or not was very, very just heart-wrenching. Obviously, YouTube is a great help, but I did purchase a course just because you don't know what you don't know, right? Especially with a new business that you're venturing off to, you really don't know the questions to ask because you haven't been there yet. That course was probably around $1,500 at the time, but I felt like the basics were there and it really laid that foundation for me to feel comfortable enough to take that leap of faith. And in my first year in 2019, I made $125,000 in revenue. And when we break down the actual feeds itself, the product cost is one of them, which was $20,000. And obviously with Amazon, there's a lot of other Amazon seller fees that are involved, which is a 15% commission that you pay to Amazon, which was $17,000. Amazon also has Amazon FBA a fee, which is a pick and pack fee that they charge you every time they ship to a customer. And that was around $25,000. And after that, PPC was when I barely first started learning Amazon PPC. I only spent around $5,000. And after all expenses, my net profit was $48,000, which again, my first full year with Amazon FBA, hitting a home run product is usually unheard of. So obviously I knew the power of Amazon FBA. So I knew I needed to double down on this. So during that second year in 2020, I went ahead and launched as many products as possible, and I made over $320,000 in revenue. I had to pay $61,000 on the product cost. I had to pay $48,000 on Amazon selling fees, $73,000 on the fulfillment fees, had other fees that were associated to around $42,000. And obviously I had to advertise on Amazon. So on PPC itself, I spent around $17,000 that year, with still netting me a healthy profit of $70,000. And again, the proof of concept actually worked, right? Being able to sell these items and make life-changing amounts of money, I knew that I still had a bunch of growth opportunity because I still felt like I didn't know or unlock all the treasures of Amazon FBA. And I'm going to reveal two massive mistakes that new Amazon FBA sellers actually make when selling on Amazon. But before I get to that, I want to mention there's something drastic that happened in 2020. And we all know what it was. And that's the thing about being an Amazon FBA seller. There's going to be uncertainties all along the way. And even though something happened in 2020, we didn't know that it was going to be a game changer for all of us on Amazon FBA, which results in what happened in 2021. So there was a massive mistake that I made as a new Amazon FBA seller that might be beneficial to you. With my Amazon FBA product, which was a shoe cleaner, it is an 8-ounce container. And if my supplier fills it up the entire way, I get bumped up on Amazon fulfillment fees. So for 1,500 units, because my supplier filled up my entire bottle all the way, it cost me $1.20 per unit. And the second mistake that I made that I think a lot of new Amazon FBA sellers make all the time is running out of stock. You see, with my shoe cleaning kit, I started selling a lot more because I got an Amazon's Choice badge as being the Amazon's choice for the main keyword of shoe cleaner. And so many people are searching that up. If you have that Amazon's Choice badge, you're going to end up basically selling a lot of units. So again, there's something I couldn't forecast. So obviously I ran out of stock and I was never able to regain that Amazon's Choice badge, which probably cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars if I only knew to order more inventory or expedite the inventory to get into Amazon. So now that I started Amazon FBA, there was a proof of concept. I came out with more products. I knew the only way to really scale is through Amazon PPC. And in 2021, I utilized their platform and I went ahead and made $1.11 million in revenue, which after all expenses, I netted $220,000 in profit in 2021. And that's when I knew this is life-changing. Amazon FBA gives the ability to sellers to literally make a full-time income and then some. And I think I already mentioned it. I think the biggest lesson that I learned in 2021 was Amazon advertising. I didn't know how much you could actually unlock because during that time, Amazon started going ahead and allowing premium A+ content. They started allowing sponsored brands, sponsored displays. I knew that I just had to pull a few levers to go ahead and get to the revenue figure as far as what my goals were. But as I mentioned in previous years, there's always things that you couldn't forecast. There's always uncertainties with Amazon FBA. And in 2021, the biggest thing that happened to me was I was actually involved in a trademark lawsuit where my brand name, Deadstock Los Angeles, was going ahead and infringing on somebody else's trademark in a different type of industry. In the life of being an entrepreneur, these things are going to happen. And in 2022, I still made $1.05 million in sales revenue. And that approximately came out to $210,000 in net profit after all expenses. And how that made me feel was, as an entrepreneur, you're going to figure things out, right? So I think 2021 was that year that I made sure that I was basically unstoppable. And in 2022 was the first year that I actually started purchasing Amazon FBA businesses. So in July of 2022, I purchased a brand by the name of Maverick that was generating right around $6,000 in profit every single month. I purchased this business through Empire Flippers, which is a brokerage to bring sellers and buyers of Amazon FBA businesses together. And in total, I paid $190,000 for this business. And the reason why I purchased this business was a few criteria that kind of checked off my checklist and brought me back to when I first started Factory Laced and grew it with Amazon FBA. One, it had a very good, healthy net margin, right? Whenever I'm purchasing businesses now, I have to have at least a 20 to 30% profit margin in any business because I know I'm going to scale this out with advertising, which brings me on to number two. I try and look for businesses that don't have a huge tacos, right? And I know I'm getting a little bit more complex, but basically what this means is that they're not advertising a lot on Amazon. They're getting way more organic sales than they are sponsored ad sales. by going ahead and increasing advertising, I know that those organic sales are naturally going to go ahead and rise as well. So that is my second criteria. And the third criteria was that I saw a brand being built here, a brand that people can get behind in the fitness world. With running chest packs, with weighted vest, I knew that this is something where someone's going to type in Maverick weighted vest instead of just a regular weighted vest. So my advice, and I think I already touched on it, is that if you are looking to purchase an Amazon FBA business, you don't necessarily have to follow my criteria, but these are the criteria that I kind of look for. Here's why it's not too late to buy an Amazon FBA business. Back in 2021, there was a lot of aggregators where they were inflating as far as the multiple you can sell a business for. Those businesses are basically bankrupt or no longer buying Amazon FBA businesses. So as we talking right now in 2024, I believe this is the bottom of the market. There's a lot of different ways where you have creative financing to purchase a business. I mentioned that I've been paid $190,000 for a business called Maverick that was generating $6,000 a month in profit. Well, I didn't have $190,000. What I did was, hey seller, I don't have $190,000, but let me give you 50% up front and I'll finance the rest over 24 months. But there's also other creative ways to go ahead and do it. So going ahead and running sponsored products, sponsored brands, sponsored displays, because what I did notice was that the seller at the time was making $6,000 a month in profit, but all of their ad budgets were actually turned off right around midday because their budgets were only at $5 or $10 per campaign. So just going ahead and optimizing their actual advertising campaigns, in the first month, I went from making $6,000 a month in profit to $12,000 a month in profit just by basically a snap of the finger. So now fast forward to 2023, where I have 2 Amazon FBA businesses. And with Factory Laced, I made $1.06 million in revenue. And with Maverick, I went from the business generating right around $300,000 a year in revenue to clearing $1.48 million in revenue my first full year taking over this business. So account both of those revenues together, my net profit for both of those businesses was right around $510,000 in net profit. But year to date, I have made $3 million in revenue combined with these 2 brands. And that equates to around $600,000 in net profit. And with Maverick, I made in the last 30 days close to $350,000. And we're not talking about a single year, we're talking about a single month here.
Do you think it's too late for new people to start selling on Amazon in 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, I hear it every single year. You can even search up YouTube videos saying that it's already too late, everything, it's over. Definitely not. I mean, you know the stats behind it. There's so much money being made on Amazon FBA, primarily through third-party sellers. So no, I don't think it's too late. And I don't think it's going to be too late for the next 10 years at least.